Hello, today we're learning what we count in Daf Mem Hey. We're going to start from Dalad and base from the Mishnah at the bottom. Shor Sheyotzel Ishsokel, or show that the best in Paskin they should be stoned because they killed a person, Vikdisha Bailo, and the owners made the Kodesh, Eine Mugdash, doesn't become Kodesh, Shochtoi, if they shechted it before they killed the shor, sorry, for me to also, you're not allowed to eat it. If it's before best in Paskin that should be killed, the Gdishoy Balo Mugdash, it works. It becomes Kodesh. When they shechted it, sorry, mutter, you're allowed to eat the meat. Marcelisha Mechino, with the Nudin in the Mishnah, if someone gave over a cow or ox to Shemechino, someone who doesn't get paid for keeping it, to Lashoyel, someone who borrowed it, someone gets paid to keep it, a renter, someone who rents a cow, nichnesu tachas abaylim, they go under Rishus abaylim, as if they're the baylim for nezokim wood, mishal nezek sholem. If it's a cow of the wood, he pays nezek sholem, but tam mishal chetzi nezek, tam pays chetzi nezek. Ton Rabbanon learn, Shorshe misad shlenig merdino Shorshe imis, a cow that killed, actually mochro, if he sold it, the sale works. In Gdisha Mugdash, it becomes called a shochter. He shechted it, psor mutter, he's the meat's allowed to eat. Ich zure shem lebeis balo muchza. If it gold in Bereshus Hashoyma and he gave it back to the owner before the Gemara Din, it's called as if he gave it back, even though afterwards the Bezdin will take it away from the Bailim. Mishan Nigmar, if already they passed in that this cow should be killed, the sale is cancelled, the Gdusha, he made the Kodosh, Eine Mugdash, Shochtoi, he shechted it, Psar also, it's not called a Chazar. Rabbi Yaakov argued and says, he argues on one point and says that the Shoima who gold, he killed someone in his Rishus, and now best in Paskin that already Chayav Nisa, and he gave back the shirt to Bailim, he doesn't have to pay the Bailim as if he gave him back a shirt. Says like Marlene Bahomifilgi, this is a machlekes between Rabbanon and Rabbi Yaakov. The Rabbanon saver in Ondim Oimrubi, Surah Noresh Cholofonecho. If someone, let's say, stole chometz before Pesach and now it's after Pesach and it's also bano, can I say, here, this is your chometz, take it back, I don't have to pay you? So Rabbanon hold, you don't say it. Aresh Cholofonecho. Here that's the paskin that Chayav Misa. You can't say, I gave you back the shirt. Rabbi Yaakov said, you could give back the chometz after Pesach that he stole and say, so here as well, he could give back the ox and say, here's your ox, I gave it back to you, bye-bye. Omar Rabba, no. Everyone agrees that, let's say, chometz after Pesach, a Ganek could give back. The Inke, Niflo, Dina, chometz of Pesach, if that would be the Makar Machlokes, you should argue about chometz of Pesach, that's a classical case of Isur Anor. You could say, can you say Reish Cholofonecho or not? Elo Hocha, what's a Machlokes? Begormim Dina Shel Shor Shelo Befonov Kumifligi. Can Bezdin paskin that we're going to kill this ox when the ox is not in front of Bezdin? They are born of Savra and Gormim Dina Shel Shor Befonov. That Bezdin could only paskin to kill the shor when the shor is in Bezdin. The Omale, that the owner of the shor tells the shoima, if you'd give it back to me before Gemara Din, hide it in the valley. Ashta, now that you didn't give it back to me on time, at fast my ox is caught, I can't do anything, best than paskin already, that's Chayav Misa, I can't get away from it. And therefore you mazik me, they didn't give it back to me early on. Rabbi Yaakov Sovar, he holds Gorim Dina Shel Shlo Bifono. Bezdin Kapaskin, they were going to kill the ox, even if the ox is not on Bezdin. The Amalei, so the Shomer will tell the Bailim, Soif Migman Abu Gamr Leledina. even if the ox wouldn't be in Bezdin, the paskin that's Chayav Misa, so that I didn't give it to you back earlier, I didn't cause you any damage. My time with the Rabbanon, what's the source of Rabbanon who hold that you need the ox to be in Bezdin? Because it said in the Pasuk, Asher Yisokel v'gam ba'alav yumos, you kill the ox and also the owner. We darshan from that, Kimisas habaylim, like when you kill a person, kach misas asher. Not bailim, like when you kill a person, bifneim, you need the person to be in Bezdin. Afshar b'fonav, you need the ox to be in Bezdin. For Rabbi Yaakov says, Bishlema, bailim neitainim, the reason why a person needs to be in Bezdin, if we have we ruling a paskim against him, is because he could taina, I did it by mistake, etc. He could have lots of tainas. Ella sure by tan. Also, sure doesn't speak, can't say any tainas. Why do we need him to have him in Bezdin when we paskin him his din? It's in the Mishnah, Masul l'sher mechinam l'sher, Tonu Rabbanon learned, Arba nichnesu tachas habaylim. There's 4 types of people who go under the Rishus habaylim and they become like the owners to be chayav, v'heluin. And these who are they, sher mechinam, someone who gets a cow or something to keep and it doesn't get paid. V'ashoyer, someone who borrows. V'anusisocha, someone who gets paid to keep something. V'asoicha, and a renter. Argu, if under these people the ox killed tamim, if they tam nerogim upturim rakoifa, and they don't have to pay koifa like the owner. Muadim, if they muad nerogim, they kill the ox u'mishamas hakoifa, and they have to pay the koifa, the shoima or the shoyel, etc. V'chayavim lachzid mishar lebailov, and they also have to pay. Not only the ox gets killed and they have to pay koifa, they have to give back the owner, the ox, and therefore they have to pay him because they can't give back the ox. Except the Shulchan that he doesn't have to pay back the bailim. Said the Gemara, Amri, Eichidomi, what's the case? If we did a proper good shmira, afilu kulu nami lifturu, why should shoymesacha or shoyer or shoymesacha or soicha should be chayav to pay back the owner? They did a very good shmira, it's not their fault. Bishlema shoyer is chayav also for Einzim, but the other ones. If he didn't do no shmira, afilu shoymechinom nechayav, why the shoymechinom doesn't have to give back to the owner the cow that he lost to him? He didn't keep after this cow properly. Amri Ochem asking, and here we're talking about the natural shmira prusa. He did a basic shmira, but no natural shmira mula, and didn't do a very good shmira. Shoymechinom kosole shmirasach. First shoymechinom, then that's chayev for pshia, but he's potter for gneva v'aveda. So he did a type of shmira that's like gneva v'aveda. So he's potter for that, and therefore he doesn't have to pay the bailim for the shore that he caused them to lose. Hanoch, the other ones, Shemisocha and Shoyel and Soicha, Loi Kolsa Shmirasa, they still have to pay, because like they pay for Gneva V'Aveda, they also have to pay for this ox that they caused the bailim to lose. Amri Kiman, says the Gemara Kiman, who did they hold like this Braisa Ikar Mea? Now we're going to see that the Machlokes Romeir and Rav Yehuda about 2 different points. Ikar Mea, the Oma Soicha, Kishoy Mechinum Domi, that means a Soicha, someone who rents, his Dine Shmira, he's Chayev, like a Shoy Mechinum, meaning Gneva V'Aveda is potter, because it's a Machlokes Romeir and Rav Yehuda, and Romeir hold that he's potter, like a Shoy Mechinum. Listen, it should say in the Braisa, Chutz Mishoy Mechinum V'Asoicha, why does it say the only one that excluded is someone who gets Shmira for free? Also Soicha, someone who rents also should be potter because he's potter for Gneva Aveda. V'ikar Rabbi Yehuda, if this price is going like Rabbi Yehuda, the Amma Soicha K'nei Socha Domi, that he hold that the din of a Soicha, someone who rents, has the same din like someone who gets paid to keep, and is Chayav for Gneva Aveda, Nis Nechutz Mishoy Mechinam. It should say, except of Shoy Mechinam, V'kulam b'muadim p'turim le'inem koifa. Because do another machlokes. One machlokes of Rabbi Romeir is how much does a soicha need to pay, like a shoy mechinum or like a soicha or like a shoy mesacha. There's another machlokes that Rabbi Yehuda had a chiddush, and he holds that a muad shmir pchusa is good enough. You don't need a shmir mu'ula, and your potter, if you kept nothing to do with shomrim, an owner of an ox who kept a muad shmir pchusa is potter if he caused damage. So if it's Rabbi Yehuda, it should say that Shemechinam is potter. Kulam b'muadim, and all of them, not only Shemechinam, also Soicha and Oisesacha, b'muadim pturim if you did a shmir pchusa, because that's good enough. Linyan koifa. Omar Rav Huna Bar Chinina says Rav Huna Bar Chinina, he explains who this Bryce is. Hamani Rab Lezer, this Bryce is Rab Lezer. The Omar Ein Lo Shmira Elo Saki. He holds the Amud, the only way to keep after a Amud is to kill it, because he's a Amud, and therefore Shmir Pchusa is not good enough for Amud. Ulinian Soicha, but Legabe, what does a Soicha have? Dine Shmira of a Soicha, is it like a Shemechinam, or is it like a Shemesacha? Sabalak Rabbi Yehuda Dom, a Soicha Kenois Socha Domi, and therefore that's why the Braita says Chutz Mishemechinam, that he's potter, and doesn't say Soicha, because Soicha is like a Shemesacha. Abai Omar, it says another turret, another explanation in this Braita. How does this Braita go like? Loilon Karameh. Really, the Braita is like Rameh. L'chor, if it's Rameh, we had the kasha. Why does it say Chutz Mishemechinam? It should say Chutz Mishemechinam v'Soicha. Ukedemachlif Rabba Ba'avur v'Toni. He changed over the din of Rameh and Rabbi Yehuda. V'Toni Soicha keitzad mishalem. How does the Soicha pay? Rameh mikashemesacha. Rameh holds like shemesacha. Rabbi Yehuda mikashemechinam. Therefore, since Rameh holds like a shemesacha, there is chayiv for gneva v'aveda. It fits in very good. That's why the Braisa said chutz mishemechinam, and it doesn't say Soicha, because Soicha, the din is like a shemesacha. Like lefi this girsa, how we tin Rameh and Rabbi Yehuda in the shittis. Said the Gemara, Amar Blada Mosa Shoyer L'Shemechinam Izik Chayev Huzak Potter. Rabbi Lezer says, someone who gave his ox to a Shemechinam. Hizik, if this cow caused damage, a Shemechinam has to pay. Huzak, the cow got damaged, Potter. Amr, says the Gemara, Eichidomi, what are we talking about? Idi Kobel Alei Shemiras Nzakov. If the Shema was mekabelt all the damages that happen, so afilu huzak nami lechayev, if the cow got damaged, he should be paying. The Shemechinam didn't do good protection. He should pay for the damage that happened to the cow that he was keeping. If he wasn't mekabel on himself for the hezek that the cow will cause or get caused, so afilu hizik nami lepotter, he should be potter if this cow was mazik. Omar Rava says Rava, it's almost that he said I will be mikabel on myself the Shemechinam if damage happens. And we are talking about we're talking about that he knew, the Shema knew that this cow is a naughty cow, he had a tendency to go. Deloi Ozil Yu Umazikachin. The story the Milsa and pastures of the words Deloi Ozil Yu Umazik. That he doesn't go on Mazik, Achrini Kibalale, to Osa Achrini Mazik, Dele Osikadate again. The story the Milsa Deloi Ozil Yu Mazik, Achrini Kabilale. He was mekabel on himself because we're talking about a cow that goes. When he said I'm mekabel on a shmira of nezokim, he meant to say I'm mekabel on myself that this cow won't cause damage to other cows. The day shmira that no one will damage this cow. Lo yasikadati, he never thought that it's going to happen because this is a cow that's a gora. Other oxes are scared from him. So he didn't think they needed to be mekabel shmir on that, and therefore stomach the milsa, he wasn't mekabel on himself that, and therefore his potter for damage that was caused to it. Tell the Mishnah, kosher bala b'mesira, the owner tied his ox with a string, v'nod b'fon of koroi, and he locked the gate in front of him, And Rashi explains the basic shmira, and it means like a shecholam and baruch metzuya, but not like a very, very good shmira. V'yotzev Isaac, and it got rid of the knot and got out the fence, and it was mazik. Echod tam ve'echod mod chayiv Rameh says this is not shmira mu'ula. Doesn't matter if you're tam, this cow, doesn't matter if it's a mod, you need to pay. Rabbi Yehuda says tam chayiv. Tam is chayiv for such a shmira. Real potter. Mod is potter shenema, it says in the pasuk, v'lo yishmer nebalo, and the owner won't keep it. V'shamu zeh, and this one is protected. Rabbi Lezer says the only shmira for a cow that's mod is to kill it. And if you didn't do that, whatever shmira you did, you chayiv. So this is the famous machlokes Rabbi and Rabbi Yehuda that we mentioned quite a few times so far. And we have the extra shit of Rabbi Lezer that wasn't mentioned as much. So let's just say it outside. Rabbi holds shmira pchusa, you chayiv bein beitam, bein by mod. You need shmira mula. Rabbi Yehuda says a massive chiddush. A mod, shmira pchusa is good enough, especially gzeres hakosov, and a tam is not good enough. And Rabbi Lezer holds that shmira for a mod, even a shmira mula is not good enough. The only shmira is to kill it. My time with the Rameh, what's the time of Rameh? Kosova stam shvarim lab becheska shimu kaimi. Says Rashi, what does that mean? Ein odom mishamer shori klal elo menicha v'yoytze. That means normal person doesn't keep after his ox. They shouldn't go. He lets him go stroll the streets. V'amar Achmona, and the Torah said tam nechayev. That you chayev when your tam goes. What are they coming to say? Then you buy the shmir pchusa that you need to keep after your tam that shouldn't damage. Odar machmona, and then the Torah says afterwards by mod v'lo yishmerena gabay mod. Then you buy the shmir mola. Then not only you need the shmir pchusa, you need the shmir mola. And otherwise you chayev. V'yolif negicha letam negicha lemod. Since in both by tam and by mod it says negicha, we learn tam for mod like mod shmir mola, also tam shmir mola. So that's Rameh, and that's why everything needs a shmir mola and shmir pchusa yechayev. Rabbi Yehuda Sova stam shvarim becheska shimu kaimi. Normally a person protects his ox, the natural thing of a person that shouldn't just stroll the streets. Omar achmon tam nishalem, when the Torah said the tam needs to pay, what is the Torah mechadesh you dini boile shmir mola? That tam needs a very, very good shmira. Other Rachman, and then the Torah tells you v'lo yishmerena gabe muad in the pasuk of muad dinabele shmir mola. Again, it needs a shmir mola, a very good protection. Ave riboy achar riboy. It's a riboy tell you they need shmir mola. Again, afterwards another riboy they need shmir mola. But in riboy achar riboy elelemait. And when you have a riboy and then afterwards another riboy, it's coming to tell you a mute akosov l'shmir mola. The Torah is mechadesh you. Why did it tell you that another riboy? To tell you that really mod doesn't need a shmir mola. It's enough a shmir pchusa. V'chitema negicha letam negicha lemod. If you're going to tell me, okay, now that we learn that mod doesn't need a shmir mola, so let's learn also negicha, and let's learn that tam also doesn't need a shmir mola. Miru to achmona v'lo yishmerena. It says in the pasuk v'lo yishmerenu. Dafka mod, it says Shmirenu, this one you didn't protect. Dafka, this one needs a shmira, doesn't need a shmira mula, enough shmira pchusa. V'lo lacha, not tam. Frek the Gemara about mi boile lelav. We need it for lav, and Rashi explains not literally for lav, but it needs to tell you the pashtus of the pasuk v'lo yishmerenu. They didn't keep after it for the pashtus. So how do we darshan from it a chiddush? So the Gemara in Kei Nichtav Rachmana v'lo Ishmer, the pasuk should say, you didn't keep it. My v'lo Ishmer nu. Why does it say this extra nu? Lezeh, it's coming to tell you dafka mod shmir pchus is good enough, but tam you need a shmir mola. Tanya, we learned in the Brisa, Rabbi Lezer ben Yaakov oima echad tam ve'echad mod sheshomer shmir pchus potter. Rabbi Lezer ben Yaakov holds that even a tam and also mod shmir pchusa is enough. My timer Sova lo Rabbi Yehuda. He holds like Rabbi Yehuda the Oma mod b'shmir pchusa sagilo. V'yalif legicha letam and legicha lemod. He learns like Rabbi Yehuda that it says riboy achar riboy ven riboy achar riboy ele lemai to tell you they need a shmir pchusa by mod. And then he learns negicha to tell you that tam has the same din. And he doesn't darshan like Rabbi Yehuda v'lo yishmerenu lezeh v'lo la'acher. And therefore, bein tam bein mud shmer pchusa is good enough. Omar Rabbi Barava lo yipoter Rabbi Yehuda ela tzad ador sheboy. Aval tzad tamus b'mkoimo imedes. Says Rabbi Barava that Rabbi Yehuda says that you potter and shmer pchusa by mud. That's dafka on the extra on chetzi nezek that mud needs to pay. But on the first chetzi nezek that you pay me din tam, that each mud's half a tam. If you did a shmur pchusa, it's a tam, and Rabbi Yehuda holds a tam, you need shmur mula, and that you still will need to pay by a mud, and that's a big chiddush. Omar Rav, says Rav, mud lekeren yamin, an ox that's mud that we did goad a few times with its right horn. Any mud lekeren smud. He's not mud now if you goad after a few times he goad with his right horn with his left horn, he's still a tam. Amri, the Bnei Yeshiva wanted to understand. Aliba de man, who we talking about, and which man doma? Aliba de Ramea. If we talk about Ramea, Omar echad tam echad mod shmur mu'ula boy. Ramea holds you always need the shmur mu'ula. So what's an afgemina about what horn did he use, the right or the left? In Chora, even if he's mod also a tam, if you didn't do a shmur mu'ula, you'll be chayav. If it's for Rabbi Yehuda who holds the difference in shmira between a mud they don't need such a good shmira to a tam they need a good shmira. Ma'ira ken smoil. What's a chiddush at current smoil? You let's say the shmir pchusa, so current smoil you'll be chayv and current yamin that is a mud you'll be potter. I feel you'll be yamin. Even be yamin with the right horn, nami is beitzad tamus, veis beitzad modus. You could say a much bigger chiddush, like Rabbi Barava said before, that even in yamin, if you did the shmur pchusi, you'll be chayv, even though that's mod, because it's tzad tamus. Amri loylam Rabbi Yehuda. Really, Rav was talking about in the shit of Rabbi Yehuda, but lo svir le Rabbi Barava. He doesn't hold of this chiddush of tzad tamus b'mkoimo imedes. V'ochi koma. And this is the chiddush of Rav. Kai Gavna, in such a case where he gold with the other horn, with his left horn, hu de mashkachas beitzad tamus muadus, that if he gold with his left horn, he'll be high on the shmir pchusa, and if he gold with the right horn, he's potter legamri because he did the shmir pchusa and it's good enough for muad. Aval muad legamri, but if he gold with his right horn, Loi mashkachas beitzad tamus kal, there's no tzad tamus because we don't hold of this chiddush of tzad tamus b'mkoimo oimedes. Shkoyach.